And we're back. My name is Travis with the $3 podcast. $1, $2, $3, $3, one podcast, multiple companies, all on one listening, watching experience. Thank you so much for joining our show. I am with Jameson Buckley of the $3 podcast. Jameson, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's nice to see you again. How are you doing today?
I am savage on a Friday, Jameson. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, and I'm right here with you now.
Mm-hmm. Nowhere I'd rather be.
Absolutely. So we're changing it up. I actually love change sometimes, but this is good change. We're going to play a game and then do rapid fire, like, bam, bam, bam.
Okay, I like that.
You with me?
Yeah.
All right. If Aiden is speed and chaos, and you are consistency and discipline, just how different are you from your brother?
I couldn't be more different from my brother, I don't think. We went to high school together. Most people had no idea we were related. We don't really look alike. We don't act alike. We don't dress alike. I love him with my whole heart, but he is the exact opposite for me. And, that's a great thing. There was nobody in the world I would rather work with than that man.
So he's 24, you're 21.
Mm-hmm.
You run socials across 4 brands.
Yep.
You post 15 times a day.
Give or take around that, yeah.
I'm doing good to get 2 out. Across 5 to 7 platforms. So that's like almost 70 times, 72, 75 times.
Well, that's 15 across all the platforms. I'm not that good.
Okay. And you never miss, and I can tell you folks, you watch the LinkedIn, it's like a machine, well oiled. And no breaks, no, I'll get to it later. I mean, you are on it. You also have built the entire studio setup we're in right here. And look, folks, I'm mad jelly, as they say. I wish I had had the same studio in my home, but he's done this very, very well. You handle all the cameras, the lighting, the studios, the audio, and the branding. And you recently went solo to your first, industry level conference.
I did.
No experience networking, no experience breaking the ice. And you walked away with not 1, not 2, but 4 demos.
So far.
So this episode is about showing up when you have to, and then what happens. We're going to have some fun.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the venture. We're going to pretend like we're in because, full disclosure, I was with him at the conference. You're walking into the hotel room.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to play Choose Your Own Adventure. You get to pick the answers and have some fun.
All right.
We're going to start with the grind. We're in the lobby. You can choose only one, Jameson. Post 15 times a day, every day, no misses. Or post once a day, perfectly produced, high quality content. Which one do you want?
It's a good question. To everybody out there, I would recommend posting that one perfectly produced post. But then when you get there, when you get the time, when you get the control, you can spread it out. You can get that one perfectly produced post and you get it on multiple platforms. You can up your numbers. You can cheat the system a little bit because that consistency is what matters. But when you put it all across a few platforms, then you can really game the system a bit and really up your numbers.
So it works better to start with one that's really good.
Totally.
Post it multiple platforms and then slowly scale up.
Before you know it, you'll be at that 15 number.
No kidding. So you learned something right there. What do most people then get wrong about consistency?
Consistency. So a lot of people hear consistency and think in their head, okay, I can do Wednesday. I can do one great video every Wednesday. People will come to me. They'll know that I post on Wednesday. I don't give any creator that much thought personally. I don't know if you do. So that's not really how it works in my head. In my head, you need that consistency every single day. The consistency is posting every day, so that people can come to expect that no matter when they open up their phone, they're going to see you.
That just changed my entire outlook on what I do. But this is not about me. We're going into now the conference proper. You walk into Military Creator Con again. You just got back from there. And Military Creator Con is a veteran and active duty service member centric creator space conference, which is really getting going. This is first time there. and I'm going to brag about him a little bit, he absolutely crushed it. But you walk in again. Now you've gone. You can choose. Stay quiet, observe, don't risk awkward conversations, or force yourself to talk to strangers even when it's uncomfortable. Which one do you do now?
As much as I wish I could choose option one there every day, every second I was there, probably, I had, you got to choose option two. You got to put yourself out there. You got to meet new people. You got to have some fun. There were tons of people there that I never expected in my life I would get the opportunity to meet somebody of this caliber who's doing what they're doing in the world. And it was full of them, It was everywhere you look, you could meet somebody like that, and you could have a really, really insightful, knowledgeable conversation and really get something out of it.
So what changed in your perspective before and after?
Before, I was much more in my head about like the imposter syndrome, things like that. We're so in our bubble here in Quincy, we don't really venture out of it very often. And to go there and to see really where I stack up in the world, it was eye-opening for me. Like I couldn't recommend it enough to anybody to really get out there, see how you're doing compared to other creators, other founders. Not that you're doing better or worse than them, but to see what you're a creator, you're a founder, you're really one of them, really to lock that in your mind.
What then was the hardest moment of the conference?
Hardest moment, easily, bar none. I remember it vividly like it's happening right now. Going up to my first guy, my first conversation, it was probably not the smoothest intro, but I did it, and it made every single one that happened after it 10 times easier.
So everything is built on systems, and you have a system for how you do things. You're consistent. You have your approach with your audio and media. But let's just say, like I asked this to Aiden, what happens when you lose everything? You lose your content schedule, you lose your tools, you lose your accounts, and you still need to post consistently 15 times tomorrow. Not 10x, 15x.
Yeah.
What's the first move?
First move is, it's not a very expensive piece of kit, but you need a notebook, you need a piece of paper, you need something to write, and you got to list out your thoughts. You got to make a plan where you're going to post, where you're going to post it, and when, and what order. Once you get there, everybody has a phone these days. Set it up somewhere and get recording. Nobody reads anymore on social media. Everybody is watching their short form content, and that is what is king today. You gotta be producing.
So at a minimum, a notebook, go down to CBS and get a notebook and a cell phone, and you can get going.
Absolutely.
What matters then versus what doesn't matter if you're starting from scratch again?
What matters? So right off the bat, lighting. Like that's the first thing I would improve beyond, the cell phone camera quality. Lighting is what makes or breaks what people think of your studio. It's their first impression, You get one chance at that. So if it doesn't look top notch, they're not going to think you're top notch no matter what. No matter how good your audio is, no matter how crystal clear your 4K footage is, if the lighting isn't there, it's just not going to be there. And it's something, we are still improving. You can always be improving it, in my opinion. And then beyond that, you can get into some of the funner things like audio quality, mics and whatnot. But, first impression is everything, and that happens with people's eyes.
He's not wrong. The pressure. Pressure is real. It's there every day. So what's harder, Jameson? Never missing a day, or knowing everything you post is public and judged?
For a while, it was option two. For a long time, it was knowing, oh man, there's a non-zero chance somebody I went to high school with is going to stumble across this video on LinkedIn or something. And then one day I took a step back. I realized, okay, I'm sitting here. I have around 4,000 connections on LinkedIn. I have a solid audience on YouTube that I post to regularly, and I'm really out there. I'm not just some high schooler, pretending to be anything. I really am what I say I am. And then after I realized that, I stopped caring what people thought, and I realized I have to do more, and that became the issue.
So at first it was your own sense of insecurity that affected you more, and now you're locked in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you dealt with that by just doing it more and realizing you did deserve a place here.
100%. And going to places like Military Creator Con help with that even further, where you really view yourself more and more like what you are. And that's something I'm always going to be struggling with, I think.
All right, so we're walking down the hall, we see the vendors, and this question's about identity.
Mm-hmm.
You can only keep one role, Jameson.
Mm-hmm.
Social media operator,
mm-hmm.
content creator, production equipment guy. Which one do you choose?
In my dream world, production equipment guy. If I could spend all day just fiddling with little quarter-inch Allen keys and whatnot, making sure tripods are stable and that cameras are lighted correctly and working properly, that would be the dream. But it's not the dream yet. And so I got to walk out there thinking I'm a content creator, thinking I am this marketing director that, is what he is.
For you, though, in dealing with the fact that you support outright Doxio and Jollar and LeadSpot, which one of those three give you the most leverage or the most benefit for your companies?
Totally. That's a good question. Probably content creator.
Yeah.
Right now in this day and age, like I said, everybody's watching their short form video, whether it's TikToks, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. Everybody has their thing that they're constantly scrolling. And, I'm no better than anybody else. I have too many hours on YouTube Shorts. I set up the 15-minute watch limit and scroll right through that every single day. And so it works, right? Like, you gotta be there. You gotta be in front of people's eyes.
So we're in the Capitol room in the big stage, and you see, all the logos up there. You see everything there. People are sitting there, and you realize that this is a lot of people's truth.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting ready to get on the stage. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing that. What do people underestimate about what you do, Jameson?
I think a lot of people who haven't gone in front of a camera underestimate recording yourself multiple times a day. In the beginning, it gets easier. It gets a lot easier over time, but it's never easy. It's never a natural thing to do, to talk to nothing, to talk to a black rectangle. It's never a fully comfortable action posting yourself online for everybody in the world to see and comment and say whatever they want about. And it's something that will always be a challenge, but will always be a fun one to conquer. There's nothing more satisfying than sitting in Final Cut and seeing a video that you're proud of, that you're ready to export to the world. It's a great feeling.
What would break then if you stopped it for a week?
That consistency, like we talked about earlier, it really goes into play in the overarching algorithm that every platform has. And I hate that word, but it is something you got to follow. If you break that consistency, you're going to fall off a cliff. People stop expecting that you're posting. If you go from posting every single day and then vanish for a week, people aren't going to think you're doing it anymore. They move on that quick these days. They really do.
So you're on stage, you've done this, and now the rapid fire scene comes. Mm-hmm. Questions in the audience.
Excited.
MCs run around with the microphone because you're in such demand. Aiden's in demand, and your dad's in demand. How you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
do it.
Let's do it. I love it. One word answers only. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Consistency or creativity?
Creativity.
Volume or quality? Ooh.
Quality.
Plan or improvise?
Improvise.
Post or perfect?
Post. Get it out there.
Camera or content?
Content.
Speed or polish?
I want to say speed, but polish. It has to be work you're proud of.
Repetition or innovation?
You think I'm going to say innovation, but repetition. If it isn't broken, don't fix it.
Solo or team?
For what I do, solo.
Confidence or preparation?
Preparation, always.
Visible or behind the scenes?
behind the scenes?
Harbor Freight or Home Depot?
Easy one. Harbor Freight. Not even a question. Not even a question.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Last one, Pokemon or Magic?
Magic. 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 It's magic.
Uh-oh, it's Magic. What actually then gets you results on social media? What's the magic in that?
That, I'm still trying to figure that one out. There's some magic to it. There definitely is. Some people can just, it looks like they just snap their fingers and get 40 million views, but I think it's a science. I think it all breaks down. I think tomorrow some of the biggest names out there could start a no-name channel and get it to 1 million subscribers in a year. There's a science that I still got to figure out. We all still got to figure out.
All right, so we move into our close. You see that Jameson's not loud about what he does. He just does it. And I think that's what really resonated with people at Military Creator Con, is they saw you as not just as a young man, but he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, and I can tell you this, folks, every day the content goes out, the systems run, and things get built. No missed days, huh?
Some missed days. I gotta be honest.
But not like weeks or months.
No.
Okay. but also I get a sense that you don't overthink it too much either.
No, at the end of the day, you just gotta post. You gotta post something. Get it out there.
So it's well, I'm not sure if I'm ready yet, and I don't.
No, it's not worth it. You just gotta post it. By the next day, people will be onto that thing. They'll forget about the last one.
And in your experience, you find that people want better ideas, they want better tools, they want better timing.
Mm-hmm.
They're not willing to do the things to make all that work, right?
Oh yeah. People, at the end of the day, all of us, every single human is a lazy person. They're gonna do things just to make their life easier so they can be more lazy. That's all why anybody does anything,
A lot of wisdom here. Well, that goes into it, because repetition is hard. It's not easy. Consistency is hard, not easy. Mm-hmm. And showing up when it's boring, because that's the other thing, right? I mean, game respects game. Mm-hmm. A lot of what we do is boring.
Definitely. Yep. It's not a blast sitting through, an hour of content just looking for the one hiccup you have to cut out. But at the end of the day, like I said, no better feeling than that export button on a finished product you're really proud of.
And I think in the way to go back to the Military Creator Conference, and you bringing it into this conversation shows that, hey, you know what? You had no experience.
None.
And, you're like, hey, Trav, I'm like, yeah, this is for real, man. This is why you came down here. And, your family's expecting you to, put out, because it takes money and stuff to get down there. But you showed up, you executed. I think it was really great seeing, for me, I know I'm the host, but I don't care. For me, watching someone get it, you would sit there and talk with them. They had never heard of you before, never seen you before, and they asked, well, what do you do? Well, I do this, I do AEO, here's my company, here's how I did it, and you can see the light bulbs go on.
Every single time. It's a beautiful feeling.
Right, and the more you did it, I mean, you took to it like a duck to water. It was great.
I appreciate that, I really do.
And you produce results, right?
I think so, yeah. So far, 4 meetings, and who knows how many more. We're only going to keep emailing these people, showing anybody who had interest, I'm going to find you.
So there's a pattern there. There's a pattern of, yes, having the creativity, but also having the discipline and the confidence to make the plan work. I think people miss that so much. So thank you for sharing with me.
Of course, it was my pleasure. I really loved it.
So there you have it, folks. This is the third Buck in the $3 podcast. Jameson Buckley talking to us about how the creativity process works in a way that people don't see. And so thank you for sharing with us. Learned a whole lot. Check us out on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, everywhere podcasts are. You'll see this young man on LinkedIn more than me. Jameson, thanks once again, and let's get to our weekend.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.